Hey, Angela here. Haven't seen me in a while. Think it's been 3 months, almost four. Um, so here I am on my weekend off. As I've been saying in my previous videos, I've been working as a therapist assistant with long-term care. Uh, what's been happening? I've been away from YouTube for a while because of the fact that I'm just trying to find that balance. When I used to work out for 3 years and be a stay-at-home mom, I was always struggling to find that balance. And I was driven a lot with a feeling of I need to do the best I can do and things like that. And right now, today, I have to say that I've found a way of being more laid back. So, congratulations to me. um, but in the process of being laid back, uh, you let some other things slip to the side. Like, for instance, I'm about 15 pounds heavier now, and it's only been 3 months. Uh, so it's hard to stomach, but it's because of my eating habits and the type of exercising I've been doing is only work exercise. So I haven't been really keeping with what I used to do. And so today I was back on back on track. I am eating healthier again, making sure I'm getting my proteins in, my vegetables, staying away from my breads, dairy. Those two things, I've let them back in my diet, and I've had a lot of health issues since I've put them back in my diet. That the doctor has put me through a lot of tests. I'm still going for tests. Like my next one is a CAT scan. There goes my cat. He got into a bag and he dragged it across the floor. So no worries, because since I've been starting to change my diet again, I seem to not be so nauseous. Dizziness is starting to subside, things like that that was concerning me. Uh, but today I started P90X3. It's always been reliable for me, any of the P90Xs. So I started with that, and the interesting part was for 3 years, my husband could never stay consistent on working out. And now I realize it's very important that I work out because he is got the drive to go work out. And half the time, especially this week, because our children are away at the grandparents, that he will skip a workout because, he wants to stay home with me. And I've got to be that person that supports him and not bring pop in the house and chips and bake stuff and things like that. So I'm trying to get back to that happy place for me where I'm working out and hopefully this time my husband's on board with me. He seems to be the more stronger person to work out right now. So, how was my first workout since I've let it slide for the last 3 months? I have gone out for runs, but not a lot. Gone out for walks, but the P90X3, I haven't done that since December, I believe. And I'm telling you, I was winded. I was like, wow, this is so much harder with more weight. And plus, the muscles that I had built up for 3 years, I've lost. So, it sounds negative, but it's just a starting point again, and I just have to work hard at it. So my weight right now is 141.8. I've seen higher on the scale this a week ago, so I'm doing pretty good to bring my weight back down. The smallest I've ever been was 119. 125 is a really good weight for me. 130 is that borderline of you look good, but you could start telling your every pound starts showing. So I think I would like to get down to 130 again. It's not about the scale, like I say always. It's more about my clothes fitting. That's what made me a light bulb go off in my head. these clothes that when I first started my job, they were loose on me, and now they are very tight. So I'm doing it for two reasons. One is to keep my health in check, and two is to make sure I can do my job very efficient. My last video I talked about going to a chiropractor. I went to the chiropractor. He's done a wonderful job on my neck, my shoulders, and my spine. I also see a physio now. I see her once a week for upper body and once a week for lower body. So I go and see her alternating weeks for the different sides. I am going to massage today at 2:45. So that's another thing I'm doing once a month, where I go and get a massage. So I've been taking care of my body. I just haven't been taking care of my diet or the extra exercise that might strengthen my core and make sure I stay strong. So that is basically where I am. Mentally, there's been leaps and bounds with mentally. I have had down points where I thought I would quit my job and just be a stay-at-home mom. Fears kicking in again. You have to remember I'm a temporary position, so a lot of people around look at you like, she'll be gone in 10 months. So some people don't invest their time with you, but also you don't ever feel like anyone's teaching you anything because you're going to be gone in 10 months, you know. And I wanted to go to this job to get back in my field and learn as much as I can of what I've missed since I've been gone. But I do feel like there's been a turnaround in the last 2 weeks that I'm getting more opportunities to be able to learn. I'm not allowing people's personalities get under my skin, and I'm just trying to live day, moment by moment kind of thing. I go in, I do what I want to do. A lot of my focus is on the residents. I really enjoy my time with the residents, where I find a lot of employees enjoy their time together. They like to bond with each other. So I am quite friendly with the residents in the sense that I will stop by their room if I see them sitting in their room and just say, hey, how's it going? You know, and it might not be a day that I'm bringing them down for exercise. Just to, well, it's compassion, right? It's about taking time for these people that might not have a visitor come into their room, and they're happy to see me, that I'm just checking in on them and seeing how they're doing, or having a little conversation with them. And that's the part of my job I love. I love connecting with the residents. I love helping the residents. I love being in part of that. In the workforce, the hardest thing has been for me is the politics, seeing people, you know, pointing fingers or not working as a team, you know. And so a lot of people are they can't find faults in themselves. They just find faults in others. But those same faults could be what they have too. And it makes it hard when I'm sitting there listening to that, and everybody they just want to complain. They just want to complain. They don't find that if they say I'm sorry, or maybe even just show compassion instead of put up a guard right away, that things will go smoother in the facility. I've had LPNs like yell, oh my God, this person's going to fall on the floor. And then, you know, there's no nurses watching, blah, 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 and just yelling and yelling. And I looked at her and I said, what do you need? And she says, I need her to be able not to fall out of her chair. I said, okay, so we need a seatbelt. And she's like, oh, but it's tangled underneath the wheelchair. And I said, okay, I will get it untangled. And while I was talking to the resident to try to calm down the aggravated resident, I got the seatbelt undone and did her seatbelt up, and voila. I looked over at the LPN, and you just see a breath of like, because I think what's happened is a lot of people don't listen to each other, and then what happens is they all get worked up and they all complain and they all get mad. And if some other piece of support from a different department can just say, just one moment, and help, we could all do well in our jobs and things like that. So I see those things and I'm learning a lot from that, and mentally it's really helping me a lot. Um, Another thing with my job, I'm sorry this is taking so long, but I haven't been on for so long, is dealing with death. I've worked with seniors before, and I was used to them becoming ill and passing away. But with my father's death and my husband's grandmother's death, death has been, and old deaths in my family, they hit me a little harder last month because what happened was we lost, I would say, 5 residents that I do treatment with, and I was pretty close to them. And just being in that moment of grieving and looking at the families coming in after the grieving, after their death, it put me in a place too that I was kind of vulnerable and emotional, and it was tough because everybody else around me is very tough and they're very, well, that's, we move on kind of thing. And I'm very much like, I need a moment just to sit and reflect and cry kind of thing. So, but I've come through. I made it through. So if you're still listening, thank you for being here for me. And I hope to make some more videos, maybe more focused on where I am mentally, physically, and spiritually. So take care, everyone, and see you another day. Bye.